many students commenting many times, sir अभी तो 2 साल पढ़े हैं, अभी तो 3 साल पढ़े हैं, देख लेंगे अभी ये क्या है. Each and every second is important. Forget about minute, hours and days or months. I am saying each and every second is important. When I ask the students to give 30 minutes of time for meditation or for exercises, for mock tests, most of the students reply that their timetable is already overburdened and they don't have the time. See, as a serious student who is committed towards achieving his goals, we are responsible, we are accountable, we are answerable for each and every minute we are spending. I want to study more, but I don't know where my time goes. I don't have time to talk to you. I am always running behind my schedule. I have still not completed my assignment which I have to submit tomorrow. This is a problem with most of the students, but the problem is not with the time. The problem is how do we manage it? Because at the end of the day, all of us have 24 hours. What most of the students do not realize is that a lot of time goes unaccounted for. When I say a lot of time goes unaccounted for, means that the time they end up spending time in activities which they don't realize. They are unconsciously spending this time. They are not aware about what is happening in this time, and I call this time as black hole. A black hole is a chunk of time which is getting spent in your schedule, but you don't know what's happening. For example, when you're playing computer games or when you're playing mobile games, you know what these games do is that they take your focus and attention into addictive mode, wherein you start reacting according to the game. So you thought that you would play for 20 minutes, but you end up playing for 1 hour, and that is what is called a black hole, wherein you are losing control of time. ऐसा लगता है जैसे किसी ने टाइम चुरा लिया हो, ऐसा लगता है कि आपने कभी सोचा नहीं था कि इतना टाइम लगाएंगे और लास्ट में आपका टाइम उतना लग गया हो. Good afternoon, boys and girls. This is Avinash Agarwal, your success guide in the journey of cracking exams, scoring more marks and achieving your goal. And the topic of today's talk is extremely interesting and extremely important for all the students. I want to study more, but I don't have time. Somebody is stealing my time. I don't have control over my time. So how can we use our time more intelligently, more judiciously? That is what we are going to talk about in today's session. As we said that all the students have black holes, and the first step in order to get rid of black holes is to consciously understand and realize and identify these black holes, and then to take corrective measures as to what is that we can do so as to get rid of black holes. The technique used to identify the black holes is either by maintaining a time log or by tracking time. Now, maintaining a time log or tracking time can be a bit of an effort, but believe me, it is an eye-opening experience. Last year, I did time tracking of my entire weekly schedule, and I had interesting revelations coming in. I realized, first thing which I realized was that which are the most productive chunks of my time in the entire day. So once you know that which are the most productive time slots you have, you consciously ensure that you don't get disturbed in that time slot. For example, if a student has the most productive time from 3 to 5 p.m., he would ensure that in that time frame nobody is disturbing him, or he's working towards the most important goal in that particular time activity. Second thing which came out while maintaining a time log was that I suddenly started realizing the importance of time. जब आप एक मिनट का हिसाब रखते हैं, जब आप अपनी एक मिनट का हिसाब रखते हैं, तो सडनली आप रियलाइज़ करते हैं कि एक मिनट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और ऑटोमेटिकली अपने आप ही जो है टाइम की वैल्यू बढ़ जाती है, एंड यू कॉन्शियसली एंश्योर दैट यू डोंट एंड अप वेस्टिंग इवन ए सिंगल मिनट. एंड द थर्ड रिवलेशन विच केम इज दैट आई आइडेंटिफाइड माई ब्लैक होल और time sinks. Black holes and time sinks are activities which are sucking your time, or which is unaccounted time, which you are not realizing, but you actually end up spending these times. Now, as I said, that the best way to identify a black hole is to do either a time tracking or maintaining a time log activity. Now, whenever you're doing time tracking or maintaining a time log, this can also be done in 2 steps. In the first step, what you do is that कि आप broad तरीके से मोटे मोटे तौर तरीके से या रफ एस्टिमेट लेते हैं कि आपका टाइम कहाँ पे जा रहा है, और अगर कुछ ब्लैक होल्स हैं तो कितनी देर के ब्लैक होल्स हैं. और अगर आप देखते हैं कि आपके शेड्यूल में काफ़ी ज़्यादा ब्लैक होल्स हैं, तो फिर आप सेकंड स्टेप पे जाते हैं जिसमें आप बारीकी से एक मिनट का हिसाब किताब रखते हैं, पेपर और पेंसिल का लेके. यू कीप अकाउंट ऑफ ईच एंड एवरी मिनट ऑफ योर एंटायर डे यूजिंग ए पेपर एंड पेंसिल टू आइडेंटिफाई दैट which is the exact activity wherein you are ending up spending time, or which is the exact activity which is consuming more time. So let's do an example. Let's consider the example of a student life, and let's try to identify that what is the black holes, or what are the black holes which a student has. तो नॉर्मली एक स्टूडेंट अगर देखें तो 7-8 तरीके की एक्टिविटीज़ करता है जिसमें उसका टाइम लग सकता है. लेट्स अज्यूम दैट यू आर ए स्टूडेंट एंड कि आपको अपने ब्लैक होल्स आइडेंटिफाई करने, तो आप किस तरीके से करेंगे. सो पहले स्टेप में यू वुड आइडेंटिफाई, काउंट द नंबर ऑफ आवर्स यू आर स्पेंडिंग ऑन ए स्कूल, कोचिंग और ट्यूशन सेंटर. सेकेंड, count the number of hours you are spending on self-study. Third, count the number of hours you are spending on sleeping. Fourth thing, count the number of hours you are spending on your breakfast, lunch and dinner. Fifth thing, count the number of hours you are spending on your personal grooming or daily core activities, नहाना, तैयार होना, ये सब चीज़ों में. Sixth thing, count the number of hours you are spending on outdoor activities, games, sports, walking, recreation, all those outdoor activities. Seventh, count the number of hours you are spending on your mobile phone devices, using WhatsApp messages, using social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want to use, using Quora and using WhatsApp videos and whatever. The total time you're spending on your mobile phone, including your talking and chatting time. And eighth and the final thing is that count the number of hours you are spending on your entertainment, which is either Netflix, which is either any TV channel or news channel or Amazon Prime or YouTube videos. So these are essentially the 8 activities on which majority of the students spend majority of the time. So let's assume that if you monitor these times, if you get a rough estimate of these times over a period of 1 week, now the total number of hours in 1 week is 24 multiplied by 7 is equal to 168. And if you count the total number of hours you have spent in these 8 activities, if it comes, let's say, around 150. So 168 multiplied minus 150 comes 18 hours. That means 18 hours are your black hole. So 18 घंटे ऐसे हैं जो कि आपके कहीं लग रहे हैं और आपको ये नहीं पता लग रहा कि कहाँ लग रहे हैं. That is what I call as unaccounted times, or that is what I call as black holes. 18 divided by 7 is equal to approximately 2.5 hours. That means the number of black holes you have on a daily basis is approximately 2.5 hours every day. Now, once you have identified that you are spending 2.5 hours in activities which is unaccounted for, तो दो ही इसके तरीके हो सकते हैं. या तो कुछ एक्टिविटीज़ ऐसी हो सकती है जिन पे आप सोच रहे हैं कि 1 घंटा लग रहा है और 1 घंटे से ज़्यादा लग रहा है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आपने सोचा कि सोशल मीडिया पे आप लगा रहे हैं 1 घंटा और लग रहा है एक्चुअली में 2.5 घंटा. और ये पता तब आपको चलेगा जब आप सेकंड फेज का करने लगेंगे. जब आपने देखा कि आपका 2.5 घंटे का ब्लैक होल है, तो फिर बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप बहुत उस 2.5 घंटे को बारीकी से देखें, बिकॉज 2.5 hours is not a short amount of time. An additional study of 1 or 1.5 hours is also very important. तो यहाँ तो बात 2.5 घंटे की है. So what you will do is that you will move on to the phase 2, wherein you will monitor each and every minute of your entire daily routine using a paper and pencil to actually find out the kind of time you're spending on each of these 8 activities. तो मैंने जैसा कि आपसे कहा कि 2.5 घंटे का आपके ब्लैक होल्स निकल गए. अब दो ही जगह ये ब्लैक होल जा सकता है. या तो किसी एक एक्टिविटी में आप जो टाइम आपने अलॉटेड रफली एस्टिमेट किया है उससे कहीं ज़्यादा लगा रहे हैं, या दूसरा सिनेरियो ये हो सकता है कि इन 8 एक्टिविटीज़ के अलावा कोई और एक ऐसी एक्टिविटी है जो आप कर रहे हैं जो कि आपके टाइम टेबल के अंदर अकाउंट फॉर नहीं हो रही है. यही 2 चीज़ें हो सकती हैं. तो मुद्दा ये है, when we are trying to identify the black holes, I am nowhere trying to say that you should study in these additional 2.5 hours. The idea is not to study. What we do in these 2.5 hours is not the topic of today's discussion. The topic of today's discussion is to find out कि ये time है तो गया कहाँ. See, as a serious student who is committed towards achieving his goals, we are responsible, we are accountable, we are answerable for each and every minute we are spending. And the idea is to get hold of that time and then to consciously decide what is that we want to do with that time. Most of the toppers I have seen, they believe in a simple formula: study hard and play equally hard. पूरी मेहनत कीजिए, पूरी शिद्दत से मेहनत कीजिए और पूरी शिद्दत और पूरी ताकत के साथ एंजॉय कीजिए. इसी तरीके से आपको लाइफ में, अपनी पढ़ाई में और अपनी प्रिपरेशन में बैलेंस बनाए रखना है. क्योंकि आप पढ़ाई के साथ अगर एंजॉय नहीं करेंगे तो आप बर्नआउट हो जाएंगे. और आपकी कॉन्सेंट्रेशन और एनर्जी लेवल डाउन चली जाएगी. कॉन्ट्रैरी टू दिस, most of the average students, what they do is that they spend huge amount of time actually doing nothing. ना वो पढ़ रहे होते हैं, ना एंजॉय कर रहे होते हैं. पैसिवली वो टाइम उनके हाथ से एक तरीके से बहता चला जाता है या एक तरीके से फिसल जाता है, और उस टाइम में ना वो एंजॉय कर पाते और ना वो पढ़ पाते हैं. सो हमारा मुद्दा सिर्फ यही है, इन ब्लैक होल्स को आइडेंटिफाई करके कॉन्शियसली अंडरस्टैंड करना कि इन ब्लैक होल्स को हम किस तरीके से यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं. मैं किसी भी स्टेज पे, आई एम नोवे ट्राइंग टू से दैट आई डोंट वांट यू टू स्टडी मोर हार्ड. दैट इज ए पर्सनल कॉल विच यू हैव टू टेक, दैट व्हाट आर योर गोल्स, हाउ क्लोज आर यू टू योर गोल्स, and does your goals require you to study more or less. That is not the question. The question is to get hold of each and every minute and to take a conscious decision how you want to spend this time. When I interact with students, especially of students of class 10th and 11th, I have seen many students commenting many times, sir अभी तो 2 साल पढ़े हैं, अभी तो 3 साल पढ़े हैं, देख लेंगे अभी ये क्या है. I am telling you, each and every minute or each and every second is important. If you really think that 1 year is too long a time, if you really want to understand the value of 1 year, go and ask these students who could not clear the examinations just because of corona crisis and who lost 1 year because they were either physically not fit or they were mentally not balanced or mentally not prepared to give the examinations. If you want to understand the value of 1 month, go and ask a mother who had delivered a baby premature. If you want to understand the value of 1 week, go and speak to the editor of a weekly newspaper or a weekly magazine. उसको पता है कि एक हफ्ते की कितनी importance होती है. If you really want to understand the value of 1 minute, ask somebody who has just missed his train or who has just missed his bus by 1 minute. If you really want to understand the value of 1 second, ask an athlete who just lost the race by a fraction of a second, or just ask a person who just survived an accident just because of a fraction of a second. So what I'm trying to tell you, my friends, is that each and every second is important. Forget about minute, hours and days or months. I am saying each and every second is important, and all of us have heard that quote कि एक एक बूंद से ही सागर बनता है. When I asked the students to give 30 minutes of time for meditation or for exercises for mock test, most of the students replied that their timetable is already overburdened and they don't have the time. Contrary to this, when I asked the students to reduce their social media time by 60 minutes, most of them reply that it is too less, time flies, they need more time for social media. So what I'm trying to tell you, my guys, is that in most of the cases, it is not only a matter of time, it is a matter of our priorities also. But remember, how we spend each and every minute today will decide our future. Most of the toppers, as I said, that they do not believe in time pass activities, and contrary to this, most of the average students, on the pretext of relaxation, they end up spending their time passively, neither studying nor enjoying. Remember, my friends, for students, time is money. For students, time is money. So I want to ask all the students, what is your return on asset called time? And the good thing is that your future depends upon your present, not on the past. So dear students, get hold of each and every minute, each and every second, and either study hard, but do not let it get wasted sitting passively and doing nothing. Thank you, bye-bye, and all the best.